You're listening to the Marketing Funnel Show, episode number 39. Ever think to yourself, my customers absolutely love working with me, so why aren't more people buying? Well, today's guest had that exact issue, and she's going to share how creating her first funnel made all the difference in her business quickly. Welcome to the Marketing Funnel Show. I'm your host, Michelle Evans, and this is the podcast for coaches, experts, and online business owners to learn how to go from simply surviving to sold out using the power of marketing funnels. All right, let's jump into today's show. Well, hello there, and welcome to another great episode of the Marketing Funnel Show. You know, today I am super excited to have a special guest on. Her name is Annette Bond, and Annette is somebody that I've known for a few years now. I actually met her at a local networking group, and you know, we've been in touch off and on, and she's been on my email list. I've been on her email list. She's a really, really, really talented personal stylist. And I don't know, maybe about 2.5 months ago, Annette reached out to me and she said, Michelle, I've spent all this money on a new website and branding and all this stuff, and it's not really moving the needle on my business. I'm not having the conversion that I want. And I so appreciated Annette reaching out because it takes a lot of bravery to say that. Like, I'm giving my business my all. What is not working? And the truth is that Annette is incredible at what she does. And because she's so good at it, because she's such an expert, because she's so passionate about it, her marketing wasn't quite connecting with the audience that she needed. Now, anyone who's worked with Annette sings her praises and loves her to death. But getting people from the, I haven't worked with you yet, I'm just kind of thinking about what you're doing, to the I love you piece, there was something missing, and that's the conversion that she talks about in the interview we're going to do today. So, more formally, Annette Bond is the owner of Definitive Style and works with accomplished professional women to elevate their image. And she's going to talk a bit more about what elevate your image means. Annette inspires women to elevate and express the best of who they are right now, so they can go out into the world with greater confidence and ease. Annette's also a certified personal image consultant, with a whole bunch of acronyms behind her name, AICI and CIC, a corporate image certified, More Alive with Color certified, and fashion feng shui facilitator. She's one of only 30 women in the US who actually has that fashion feng shui facilitator designation. And Annette is just an incredible businesswoman, an incredible person, and you're going to really enjoy hearing her interview. And one of the reasons I really wanted to have her on is that she had incredible success really quickly with her funnel. She booked a high-end client in less than 1 week after her funnel going live. But even more than that, Annette is not somebody who is a quote-unquote marketing person. She's a business person for sure. She's incredible at being a stylist. And I wanted to have her on because I think a lot of times people get into their heads like marketing funnels are so hard. I would have to start over from scratch. And what Annette's going to show you is that she was able to actually create a really powerful marketing funnel, taking what she already had and just reworking it a little bit so that it actually attracted and connected her audience, and then ferried them through from, I just found out about you, to, oh my gosh, I have to work with you now. As evidenced by her booking a high-end client in less than a week of her funnel going live. So I'm really excited to have this interview on today. You're going to really love hearing from Annette, and I really encourage you to go check out the funnel that she created because it's beautiful, it's simple, and it really, really is effective already in her business, and it's going to help her be even more effective down the road. So with that, let's jump into the interview. Welcome, Annette. I'm so excited to have you here. Now, of course, I gave you a little intro before we started, but I would love for you to just give us a little bit about who you are, what your business is about, who you serve, that kind of stuff.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you for having me on. I'm excited to be here. My name is Annette Bond, and I am a certified corporate and personal image consultant. And I really have a passion for helping women to show up as their best self. So I'm also a wife and mother. I'm a mother of 2 growing sons, and I have one of my sons who just got married and married a doctor. So that's pretty cool. So we have a Dr. Bond in the family.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it is cool. So, and a little bit about Definitive Style, which is my company as an image consultant. I'm also the creator of AnnetteBond.com. Is I help professional, accomplished women elevate their style. And I work with women, I like to say, as I said, accomplished, they're professional, they're intelligent, in the business world, but they're not always great in the style department, or they don't want to take the time to figure that all out. And they know it's important, so they're needing my help to say, hey, help me to show up as my best self. And one of the things that's also really important is they want to feel authentic. They want a unique style that speaks to who they are, and want, that all to come together of what their brand is or who they are in the corporate world. And I always like to say, to get dressed in the morning, feel like $1,000,000 and forget about what you're wearing so that they can go do what they do best.
I love that. And just to clarify, do you mostly work with just women who are in the corporate workplace, or do you work with people who have their own brands as well?
Both, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because style is so critical.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Yes. And usually they aren't usually always maybe feeling the best about themselves, and it is elevating their image. And, it's different. That looks different for everybody.
Yeah. Well, and I know for me, just going through the different stages of life, like having little kids, now my kids are older. When I had really little kids, I didn't want to wear any jewelry or any long earrings or anything because they would just be pulling on them all the time. But now that they've gotten older, I've found that I still kind of default to that. And so it's like just continuing to allow myself and my own style to grow, right?
Right. And women get in ruts.
Yes.
It's like I've been wearing the same thing that I was wearing 10 years ago, and you're not the same person. So it's really important to continue to just revisit. How are you feeling about your image? How are you feeling about your style? What's going on in your closet? What needs to get rid of? What do we need to add to really allow you to show up as your best self?
Yeah. And for you, like if you think of, clearly you have your style well figured out. I mean, that's what you're about. But yes. When you think about maybe 1 or 2 of your favorite clients and the favorite sort of transformations you've helped them do, what's so important to you about this work?
What is so important is, and this is actually, I'm going to say this to start, is one of my philosophies, is I believe that style begins with the woman and not the clothes. And so when I start working with a client, I really spend a lot of time identifying who is she as a person, what makes her tick, what are styles that she's attracted to, what doesn't she like, what has she found that's worked, because I want her to feel so comfortable in her skin.
I love that, Annette.
Yes. So my clients, it's always been, and this is that one thing that I do for clients is elevate. And it really comes back to that. It's not changing who they are. It's just enhancing who they are. And that is an elevation, and it might be quality, it might be color, it might be changing their hair, it might be all the above, just to elevate and become more of who they are.
I love that. And it really sets up what we're going to talk about with your marketing funnel, because your whole philosophy, your whole approach, your whole just desire to help people really pull out the best and the uniqueness in themselves, I think really translates into what you ended up creating. So I'd love to transition a bit to that, and we'll link up to your business so people can go check you out, check out your website, all that stuff, because it's a really fascinating business. But let's just switch over to, when you decided to really take a look at your marketing and really think about creating a marketing funnel for your business, what was your biggest goal with that?
I'm going to be vulnerable here. I remember our first conversation I have been working with women for literally 25 to 30 years. And so through those years, I am a huge learner, and I have done a lot of training. And what I was finding is that when people were going to my website is that I wasn't getting the conversion. And I was like, what's going on? I know what I'm doing. I'm good at what I do. And so that was my biggest thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just you're good at what you do. People love you when they work with you, right?
Yes.
So go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. That was kind of the biggest thing, is something's not quite right here. I knew that something wasn't quite right, because when I would meet people in person, which is when I would, conversion would happen. That's when people would hire me. But I had created this beautiful website, of course, hired somebody and done some photography. And I wanted, because that's the way the world is, people go check you out or they're finding you online. And I was really stumped as to why I wasn't converting. And so that's why I looked to you.
Yeah. And so, okay, so your big goal was conversion. And if that's a new word to anybody who's listening, basically what it means is when people go to Annette's site, are they taking action or not? So were they opting in for her freebie or not? Because if they don't, they might just hit her site and leave, and she would never have an opportunity again with them. And so really focusing on conversion is an important piece of running a business in these days, is like, how many people are coming to my site and how many of them are taking further action, so we can cultivate a relationship, right?
That's exactly right.
Okay. So when you thought, when I started talking to you about a marketing funnel, I'm sure, because I know you had questions, I'm sure that there were some things going off in your head, like, what is going on? So what was your biggest concern about building a marketing funnel for your business?
I think my biggest concern was all the technological technology. I'd heard of ClickFunnels, lead pages, I'm aware of what's going on there online, but I had no clue where to start. I mean, I had no clue. Yeah. So it was probably more the technology, if you will. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. And so, I would love for you to speak to that. What did you end up using for your technology?
So I ended up using ClickFunnels and also lead quizzes.
Yes. Because we'll talk about your specific funnel that you built in a minute, and it's a quiz funnel. So that was really interesting, and we'll get into why you created a quiz funnel. But when you, I know I personally love ClickFunnels because I can share the funnels that I have that work with other people. So like I can take my funnel that I've already built and done, figuring everything out, and I can just give it to you. So was that one of the reasons why you decided to go with that, or was it something else?
Well, I've been following your emails, and so I'm going to go back to probably the number one was trust. I I trusted you. I really did. And that's, that was a biggie. So
Thank you.
I knew your background. I saw what you were doing. I'm like, okay, you know what? This is my girl.
Oh, I love it. Thank you, Annette. So as you got into Build Your Funnel Bootcamp, what do you think was the biggest reason that you decided to join? Aside from conversion, I guess. So like we want to increase conversion, but I know in the past you've really hired people who did a lot of this stuff for you. And so this time you decided to learn it on your own.
Yeah. Well, you and I had a conversation. We had a borrow your brain conversation, and I told you what was going on, and you immediately kind of were identifying some blocks or whatever of why things weren't happening on my website. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, I was ready. I will be honest. I was ready, like, okay, I need to do something. I'm ready to make, I'm not, comfortable with what's not happening on my website. So I needed to take a step.
Oh, I love it. Okay, let's talk about your funnel, because I love the funnel that you've put together, and I think it speaks so well to your business. So can you just walk us through what you decided to create, and then maybe we can dive into a little bit of why. Okay.
So I decided to do a quiz funnel. And what I found as I started creating it, when I begin working with my clients, is there is a lot of questions I ask through an assessment and getting to know them. And so this style personality type, what did we call it? I'm sorry, the style personality type. What is your style personality type? I knew that this was kind of the beginning stages. I could use material that I already use with my clients when I start working with them. So taking this quiz truly is the beginning to starting that process. Yes.
And what I love is the whole feng shui piece that you have. So can you just talk a little bit about that? Because it was so intriguing to me.
Okay, so several years ago, I took some training called Fashion Feng Shui. And I remember when it came across my desk, and it was from the Association of International Image Consultants. I'm like, what is this? And I read about it and ended up taking a training with it. And it was so aligned with how I work with my clients, which is you start with the essence of who you are as a person. And so the essence really is who you are at the core, your personality, again, what makes you tick, how you operate in life. And so it was very much in alignment for how I work my business. So the Fashion Feng Shui, although you don't see that in my quiz, it is integrated in there.
Yeah, the essence of it.
Yes.
Well, and that's one thing that I really love about you, is that it's not about the latest fashion or anything about that. It's really about tapping into who your clients are as women and saying what's on the outside is going to reflect what makes you special and unique on the inside.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what I think a lot of people don't know is, of course, we're going to be talking about style, but it's getting those style elements, if you will, that are aligned with that person.
Yeah. And that is, it's just such a unique and interesting hook for women to say, okay, I don't have to worry about what the latest style is per se. I need to really focus on who am I and how do I bring that out so that my personal brand is showcased on my body before I even say anything.
Absolutely.
Okay. So let's go through and talk about your biggest aha that you had in Build Your Funnel Bootcamp. What was the thing that you were like, this is so what I needed to know, or whatever?
My biggest aha was the 5 levels of customer awareness. And that, I still kind of giggle about it. It's like it blew my mind. Like, I did not really realize that was ever going on, even though now that I think about it, I'm like, well, yeah, of course. but I was not aware of it. And I've shared it with several other my colleagues, and they look at me like, oh, wow, I've never heard. I mean, I don't, anyway, so you're training on that. And I know it wasn't exactly your discovery, but I've never heard anybody train on it. And it's phenomenal, I think, to know it.
Yeah, actually, it's really old work. It's from people back in like the 50s, 1950s, right?
Yeah.
Gene Schwartz.
But it's huge.
60s. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's huge. It's been a huge deal breaker on how I talk to my audience. And even I actually was out to dinner last night with a client friend, and she said to me, she goes, I love the last couple emails you sent. She goes, they were just different. And I was like, wow. I mean, this is somebody who knows me really. She goes, it was just different. And I go, oh, okay. Well, it was very purposeful. It's definitely been very intentional on how I'm writing. Yes.
That's exciting when you see that start showing up, right?
Yes.
And just so people understand a little bit, like I'm not going to go into the deep training, but basically the 5 levels just say what you need to take people through in order to get them ready to buy from you. And a lot of us, because we're so close to the business that we have and we love it so much and we're so expert, we're talking way up here at level 1 or level 2, and our audience is way down here at level 4, and it's like you're speaking 2 different languages at this point. They can't really hear you or realize that what you have for them, even though it's amazing and awesome, they don't see themselves in your message. And so what Annette's talking about is we went back down to level 4, and then she'll bring them up through her funnel.
Right.
I just wanted to set that straight for anybody who hasn't heard about that before. Okay, so now that you have your funnel, let's just talk about it a little bit. It's a quiz that then goes to booking a call with you, right?
Correct.
Yeah. And when you thought about creating your quiz, was it, I know you use stuff that you already use with your clients. So we just kind of took a look at everything that you have in your business and said, okay, this is one area that could be really great in connecting with people. So was it hard to create this quiz, or did you already have kind of the basic workings of it and it was just a matter of putting it together?
It actually was actually pretty easy for me. And I say that because I'd already been using this information in my business. And so I just really am using it, repurposing it, if you will, in a different way.
Yeah. To connect. And I mean, I don't know if you want to give this away, but when you did your funnel persuasion playbook and we took a look at some of the biggest pains that people have, do you want to talk about one of the biggest pains that we uncovered in terms of what women feel about their personal style?
Well, what I found is that a lot of women, they're in a style rut. They have closets full of clothes, jam-packed, and always feel they have nothing to wear. They end up buying the same pieces and have that boredom feeling. Or they just waste a lot of mental energy trying to figure out, how do I put together this great outfit? I want to put together a polished look, but they waste so much energy and they're just kind of stuck, really.
Yeah, and figuring out that style, getting out of that rut and because I know one of your promises is we can make it easy and effortless. Like it doesn't have to be hard to have your style once you're clear on your style.
Exactly. Right.
And so the aha that you wanted people to have was, oh, this is my style. Like in the whole world of all the clothes that are available when I go out to shop, this is actually my style. So you're starting to hone it in a little bit. So they have this aha of, yes, that actually sounds like, because I know I took the quiz and I was like, yep, that sounds like me.
Yeah. And what I just find in general is women do get stuck in styles or even colors. I was just had an appointment last week, and the gal says, I go to the store and I look for those 3 colors, and it's like, gosh, there's a rainbow of colors. And so it's really getting them outside of that little box of what they think they can wear or they should wear, what only looks good, and just having a new set of eyes to look at them. Yes.
And that's why a quiz was so perfect for you, is because it helps to have that aha moment. And I know after people take the quiz, they'll get just a little glimpse into what their style looks like, right? You have pictures pulled together and some words and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Which is a huge aha, just to even if you've never really thought about it. And I hate to say that as a marketing person, but I had never really sat down and said, okay, like, what is my closet style? I do it for my business. Like, I spent a lot of time and money thinking about my website branding and all that stuff, but I'd never really done it for me.
Yes. And I think that's kind of normal. You know, one of the things we do it for all other parts of our lives. And sometimes that elevating your image can be scary because you are going to be seen too. That's kind of an interesting thought.
Well, and it's putting, because it's easy for me to say, okay, I'm going to put my website because that's a money-making piece. Right. I'm a money-making piece too, but for some reason I always felt like, oh, that's not as important to have my style. And so after I went through this, I was like, of course style is so critical, you know, especially when I'm the face of my business. I need to represent it everywhere, including on my body.
Yeah. So,
I know for you that's not an aha, but for me, that's what I got out of your quiz.
Okay, good. It's good to know. I like knowing people's ahas, because sometimes you just think people get it and they don't get it. Just like me getting what you do, right?
Yeah, well, and that's why, I mean, a quiz is not right for every business, but that's why I really felt like a quiz was right for your business, is because having that aha moment is actually the thing that can really get people who aren't yet customers to really pay attention to what you're doing. You know, especially when you're talking about something that is so personal and can be kind of triggering for women, right? Your style.
Yes.
Shopping, you know.
It can be scary. It can be scary for a lot of women.
Yeah. And so you take that scariness out by refocusing on who you are on the inside and how that can manifest on the outside.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
So they go quiz, then you offer them to sign up for a call with you. They also get some emails that also ask them to sign up for a call with you. So everything leads to having a call with you, because that's when you make the connection and the magic, right?
Yes.
And what are you selling at the end?
Well, I'm selling my one-on-one. I have 2 programs, my Reveal Your Radiance signature program, and then VIP program. So guess what? I've already had a gal go through my funnel and have a new client.
I love it.
Yeah. So that's cool. That's cool.
Really fun. And I'm not surprised, because it feels really personal. It feels like, oh, Annette gets me as a person, as a woman.
Yes.
So I love that. Yay. Because your funnel's only been live for what, a week?
A week. Yeah.
Wow.
Just a week. It was like, I think it was last Tuesday actually, because I had a speaking engagement. So yes. Yes.
That's fantastic. So what is the way that you're going to fill your funnel? Is it mostly through speaking, or are you doing other things as well?
So one of the things I did that I'm super excited about is I took all of what I learned through your course, and I have to say, you know, I started just to get a funnel, and what I found is that it's all trickling over to my speaking, and yes, I will be sharing my funnel through that. But it's also just when I'm out even networking. I mean, I'm so excited about my postcard that I did that has everything to do with my funnel. And I'm actually, so this was exciting, is that free giveaway. I'm super excited to share this with people.
Oh.
And I can't say I was ever like super excited. I mean, I had this thing that I would give people, but this is like, I'm just really proud of, and I'm excited to share it. And just going to be handing out my postcards I have a fashion show coming up and a speaking engagement, and whether it's through my website or in person, I will be sharing my style quiz, which is exciting.
Oh, I love it. And that enthusiasm, that excitement for it will come through in everything. So people will be excited about it, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to say what your previous one was?
So it was I'm trying to remember the name of it now. 7 tips to elevate your image, or I think that's what it was. Yeah.
And it was
it was good material. Yeah, It was a PDF download, and it was good stuff, but I think it wasn't interactive. Yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't interactive. That's the key piece, because we needed people to be interacting with you and to feel that aha, and to feel like, ooh, she gets me, because the work that you do is so personal. And so I think that's why this new one probably feels so good, is because when people take the quiz and they go, this is me, because I've seen, people making comments on Facebook on your post and stuff, like, oh, this is so amazing. And that feels awesome, doesn't it?
Yeah. I even got a couple gals sending me emails like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. This is kind of no surprise. And it was more of that they were on the right track. I think that's what it kind of made them feel like.
That it reaffirms who they are. Yeah. For sure.
Yes.
Okay. Now that, that's kind of driving traffic. So it's mostly through the work that you do. Do you mostly do local stuff, or do you do it with anybody all around for the work that you do?
Right now, it is local in Seattle.
Okay.
So I can do my VIP program virtual, which I have, but I will say right now it's pretty much been in the Seattle area. So
yeah, and you're very hands-on and very connected with your clients, I know. So just thinking about Build Your Funnel Bootcamp and, the wins that you've already had, if you were talking to a friend and they were considering Build Your Funnel Bootcamp for their business, what would you say to them?
I truly, and I think we do a lot of things in life like this. I basically took the course for conversion. That's all. Like, I need a funnel. That's all I wanted, was a funnel. And it was so much more. So the whole process that you took us through, and I will tell you, there were times where I'm like, this is so hard. I mean, and I'm like, no, I'm going through it. I got to get through this. And the clarity that came out at the end, the clarity not only for the funnel, but for website copy, for my email marketing, for my speaking engagement. And so it was just really, it was way more than what I had expected. So it was amazing. I thought it was amazing. It was an amazing process. So yes, absolutely.
I love it. And I honor you for doing the work, because there always is at the beginning, whenever we're learning something new, there's always this kind of munging through. So I honor you for doing that, because at the end, I have seen such a huge change, because I've been on your email list for, I don't know, probably 3 years.
Oh,
so I've noticed it.
I didn't even know. So that's cool. The clarity, I think that's like the hugest thing, is all my clarity that I got. So
that's fantastic. Well, if people want to go check out your amazing quiz and find their own style type, where should they go?
You should go to AnnetteBond.com, and that's BOND /style quiz.
And is that all one word, or is there a hyphen between style?
It is all one word. It's
Okay.
Style Quiz is all one word. And it is also on my homepage. If you just end up going to AnnetteBond.com, there's a button there that says Style Quiz, and it'll take you to it. So
I love it. And we'll link to it in today's show notes. So if somebody's listening on the go, you just go into your app and I'll link to it in today's show notes. So you can easily find that because it's a really great quiz. It's a really great example of taking work that you were already doing behind the scenes and bringing it to more people so that they can get that aha moment, right?
Yes.
I love it. Well, is there any last things that you want to say about your business or your funnel or anything like that before we sign off for today?
Not really. I'm just excited about AnnetteBond.com/style quiz and working with more women and letting them really identify who they are from the inside out. So.
And I'm looking forward to hearing more of your success stories. So Thank you so much for coming on today.
Of course. Thank you.
Wow. I really, really want to thank Annette for coming on and talking about her journey today in creating a funnel and being so honest and transparent about where things were hard, things that weren't working and all that, because having that transparency, having that bravery is actually what will take us from struggling on our own to figure it out to actually having things work, right? And as you were listening to this, did it start activating some questions in your own mind about if a quiz funnel might be right for your business or what funnel is right for your business? And you're probably thinking, oh, isn't it time for me to actually create my first profitable marketing funnel to bring in clients and sales automatically? So if that sounds like you, I want to invite you to jump on over to today's show notes where you're going to find everything that links to Annette's funnel. And you can find that at themarketingfunnelshow.com/39, just the number 39. And then you can also find a link to my own marketing funnel quiz, which will help you discover your perfect marketing funnel in just a few simple questions. And I'll even give you some free training on how to get that funnel up and running fast so that the tech is simple and not something that needs to hold you up. All right, I want you to have an amazing week, and I look forward to seeing you back here next week, same time, same place, on another great episode of The Marketing Funnel Show. Talk soon.